Hello, Encores fam.
What's up, guys?
This is Ron Powell here, and
David Clayton.
guess what? It is the holidays, and so we discussed that the greatest film we could probably pretty much discuss about
This year
would be Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Some fun facts about the movie. If you haven't known already, basically, Tim Burton did not direct this movie. This movie was directed by his old Disney colleague, Henry Selick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, the company that made the movie was known as Touchstone Pictures. They're also known for a very interesting film that Dave introduced me to.
One of my personal favorites, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? George Clooney, man. That was a great film, so funny. And just the way that production went. We'll talk about that a whole nother time. I would love to devote a whole episode just to that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
For now, we got to keep it in here. So, Nightmare Before Christmas.
So, the project was started back in October 13th, was released on October 13th in 1993. The project took 3 years to complete, to my astonishment.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I remember, this is just a small fact here too, but just not to interrupt or anything like that, but I remember watching it just recently and realizing, like, wow, it's relatively short, and you can understand considering that at the time it was like the first stop motion animated feature film. So when you look back on it that way, it's like, okay, that makes sense. I understand. Give it some leeway there. Since then, they've had films like Chicken Run, which I love that film. Being a kid watching that, I don't think you've ever seen that, have you?
I have.
You have
Chicken Run.
Chicken Run, yeah, that was a good film.
So now so with that out of the way, why don't we jump into the actual film?
Okay.
We're gonna start off with what we felt with. We'll start with simply the animation of the movie. Very simple. To me, thought it was great. Honestly, I never thought at first that it was a stop motion picture. I guess maybe because I didn't really research film and stuff in the past, and now I just started looking it up and researching it a bit more. I started realizing, like, wow, that's actually really cool to know it was stop motion. It took, they had the animators had to move the arms to get them in the right position to make it, like 1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
and then try to animate that. I thought that was
painstaking process. Takes forever. Never ever done it myself, but when you watch behind the scenes documentaries, that sort of thing, you really gotta give these guys credit because they put in their heart and soul into a project that is going to take up a good portion of their lives, and hopefully the result is fantastic, and in this case it is.
Yep, of course. So, personally, the other thing that's probably a big major important factor of the movie, we got the plot and the music, but we'll start with the plot. I thought personally the plot was good. It definitely brought 2 different holidays together, and I thought that was actually pretty unique.
Very genius.
Like bringing Halloween and how people from Halloween Town would react to a new holiday that they never actually have witnessed before.
Mm-hmm.
Whole new
experience.
Oh yeah. So.
Yeah, the plot itself was pretty. It was simple, but that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? It's not hard for people to follow. Anybody, children and adults, can enjoy it. They take something out of it. I know I did. As a kid, and rewatching it now at 24 years old, it's still impressive just to watch. I love Jack Skellington. He is such a charismatic yet haunting figure in the film.
And the voice actor Chris Sarandon does a very good job of that. Also, with the singing, Danny Elfman, who does the singing for Jack Skellington. Very well done.
I had no idea that he did the voice. Everybody knows he does the orchestrations, the music for several films. Batman being a perfect example. But for him to be singing, that was something new to me. Just to realize that now, it's like, wow, this guy really is talented.
So speaking of which, now I'm going to go into the music. Basically, I thought that every song was amazing, but I gotta give it to Ken Page when it comes to Oogie Boogie. Because here's the thing with me. I love the villains.
Yeah.
I have become when I was a child. I was more, when you're young, you want to be the hero. You want to be the one that saves the day, kind of thing. But for some reason, as I got older, I started realizing I like the villain songs a lot better. I think they're a lot cooler. Come on, like Scar from Be Prepared with Be Prepared.
Yes.
Jeremy Irons singing that. You also got, Poor Unfortunate Souls from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah. A lot of these villain songs, they're amazing. I've always thought that the Disney villain has gotten the coolest song.
Very much so, very much so.
But yeah, each song had great lyrics to them. Basically, I liked the way, even some of the songs, the intro, when it came to This Is Halloween, I liked how during the lyrics, you actually saw you wouldn't think it, like the characters actually had what they said in the lyrics. I have spiders in my hair.
Yeah.
I'm in the shadow of the moon at night. Then your jeans that brim with fright. Something like that. I could have really meshed with the lyrics. I'm sorry, please don't kill me. I want to be able to live my life.
Yes.
Just please don't kill me. So, but yeah, I mean, the music in the film itself is great. The soundtrack is very well done by Danny Elfman. I felt every vibe from it.
Yeah. No. I enjoyed it, and like you were saying just now, with the beginning of the film, with the lyrics and how you saw everything that they spoke animated in front of you. It was really cool to see the collaboration and how they were able to pull that off so well. It gets you right. It gets you invested into the story right then and there, which is very helpful for getting the audience into the story. It's pretty awesome.
Yep. But each voice actor did such a great job with the movie. So I guess now this is where we're going to cast. Voice actor.
Oh yes.
Was very well done. Chris Sarandon is Jack Skellington, just doing the voice. Just doing the talking. Phenomenal job. You have Danny Elfman who does the singing. Phenomenal voice.
Yes.
Catherine O'Hara as Sally. She also did Shock.
Yeah.
And also a fun little fact. I mean, probably everybody already knew this, but this was really funny to know. Paul Rubin doing the voice of Locke, the Pee Wee Herman guy.
Pee-wee's Playhouse, yay! Love that guy. So funny. Despite the controversy surrounding certain incidents in his career, he is definitely a great performer, and I enjoyed him in, what was that movie? Mystery Men. That's another film I would like to tackle in the near future. Great film, very funny.
But overall, the movie was very unique. The movie had its own taste. Something that is, to me, I don't see that many movies, but something to me that's never feel like it's been done in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been done like that ever again. And it was done so well.
Well, what was really cool for me, like I was describing earlier about Jack Skellington, was he's the main protagonist of the film, yet there's something about him, it's just like his demeanor and the way that he carries himself. And the voice actor really provided this for me, was that you do get a sense of danger with him. He is a good guy and everything like that, but considering that he is the Pumpkin King, there's this aura surrounding him that's just like, you don't want to mess with that guy. You don't want to tick him off too well, you know what I mean? Otherwise, he will get after you, It's crazy. But he's got a good heart, which is what carries the film and the plot itself as the main character. You do root for him, but at the same time, it's kind of like, this guy could snap. You know what I mean? It's pretty awesome. I do enjoy it very much. The actor did a great job, and the way that they wrote the character. I believe Tim Burton did actually do the designs for each character. Isn't that? I believe that's what the documentary revealed.
Yes, it did. Also, a little fun fact. Basically, Disney actually was trying to fight for Jack Skellington to actually have legit eyes, not like the black holes he has in the movie.
Yeah,
they actually wanted them to actually have eyes.
To be less frightening, but I think personally that would have defeated the purpose of Jack Skellington.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that didn't carry through, indeed.
I thought the film altogether was probably phenomenal. There wasn't really any moments I got any twitchiness, or I never really felt anything. I never really got a bad vibe from the movie, you could say.
Definitely. Another really cool thing, for me anyway, as an audience member watching the film, his interactions, Jack Skellington's interactions with Zero, I thought that was pretty cool, because if you do realize when you're watching the film, Zero is not really there. And once again, this brings us back to the process of stop motion animation. You know, it's really tough to pull that off. You know, and so smoothly like they did, and the fact that they were able to get the two characters in there and interact with each other like they did is pretty impressive. You know what I mean? Because you have to imagine that they had to do two separate animations. You know, one for Skeleton, the other for Zero. And Zero is a cute character, not really a big role at all, but it's cool to have in there, and just the fact that they were able to have the two models interact with each other was really, really cool. Considering that it was indeed a ghost as opposed to an actual figure in the film, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome. But like basically, I think we've hit everything here. Do you think we're missing something? Actually, wait. Director, I guess the way the director, perceived the film.
Okay. That's a very good topic we can tackle here.
So, I think probably the way the director was going with it was he just wanted to tell another holiday story, which he did, and he did it like in a different, unique way.
Yeah.
He's probably taken inspirations from one of our other holiday stories. So I think the director is aiming for a different kind of telling with the story of just the night before Christmas. Obviously calling it The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I thought was kind of clever.
Yeah, definitely. Especially considering, the whole theme of the film itself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a sabotaging of, everybody's perceived, visual of Christmas, and just like putting this dark twist to it, which is pretty awesome, and added flavor to the film. It's a very, very colorful film, and yeah, you can say that with a whole lot of other Christmas films, considering the lights and the holly jolly and all that. But the fact that they were able to mix all these themes together and and successfully too, it just makes it very fun to watch. It's a visual treat. It really is, not just the plot and the characters and the basics. But just from the visual standpoint, it's really awesome to look at. It treats the eye. It's pretty cool. I mean, I can just imagine seeing it in theaters for the first time. That must have been phenomenal. I would have absolutely been like enthralled.
Being very young and all that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But no, we didn't get to see it in theaters.
No. There was a re-release, I think, in 3D not too long ago, but I missed that personally. So
I did too, so...
Yeah, it would have been awesome. Who knows, maybe they'll re-release it in the near future. They usually do these days with a bunch of films, and I know I'll definitely catch it this time. Watching the film again, it reminds you of how epic it really is.
It's definitely one of the top ones with the 90s. When you look at the 90s films, Disney made really great films.
Yeah, a lot of the classics.
A lot of the classics.
Lion King, my personal favorite.
Which is also my darn personal favorite.
Well, maybe it's a few people's personal favorite, considering how successful it was. And, that it's left such a legacy. But so is this.
Yes, it is. Oh, it's one of those up there. You can't forget any of these specials, Yeah. You definitely don't, well, not specials, excuse me. You don't want to forget any about these movies.
Yeah.
They're
very memorable.
Very memorable, especially from your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Especially.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think we should conclude.
Okay.
So for me personally, I thought the overall was a great movie. If I had to give it a scale between 1 through 10, I would have to say a 9.
A 9. Wow, that's higher than my personal opinion. I think the only thing that keeps me from giving it anything higher than I gotta be very nitpicky here. 7.5 maybe. And only because of the length. And I understand at the time, it was the first feature-length film, so, it was great and everything, but I'm just so used to seeing animation and animated features, much go on longer, you know what I mean? And I remember watching this recently, just now, and thinking to myself, man, I wish there was more, because there's so much material that they can go off of. Not that they didn't, but, you know what I mean? It just leaves you kind of, wanting more, And there was no sequel, there was no spin-offs from it, other than, like, appearances by Jack Skellington and certain projects like James and Giant Peach. But yeah, it does leave you wanting just a little bit more, in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean...
That's probably my only complaint, I think. And that's just me. Like I said, that's just me being nitpicky.
But again, I mean, as he said it best. The thing was with the movie, it was painstaking to make. It took them 3 years to make it.
Yeah.
And imagine if they had to put a little extra length to that movie. If they said it was like a 72-minute movie, imagine if they had to add that extra half hour to it. It would probably have been longer.
Yeah, it would have
Especially
taken
with
longer
everything.
than 3 years.
So, in a sense, I understood why they did what they did. But yeah, I do see what you mean. You wanted more. It is a movie that did leave you kind of wanting more than what it gave you. But for the most part, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, it was a very good film. Very, very what's the word I'm looking for here? I was gonna say animated, but it quite literally is. Yeah, no, I gotta say for the film as in its entirety, it's definitely it's filled with plenty to watch and enjoy, and I did indeed enjoy it. Let's see, Nightmare Before Christmas was definitely successful through and through, and every single aspect. It really was, like we were discussing the plot, characters, themes, it was awesome. It was really, really well done, and I enjoyed it. You could watch that every Christmas and still get the same vibe out of it. Leaves you feeling good.
I mean, here, most of my family rewatches that movie a lot. It's one of their favorites. Also up there with Jim Carrey's The Grinch Stole Christmas, but basically for the most part, Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely one of those other movies.
That your family...
Yeah, pretty much rewatches. And I guarantee your families probably do the same thing. Some of you guys may go, wow, you got that movie you watch every year.
It's funny because my mom will have us watch, the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, those old Franken Bass films. Then those are stop-motion animation too. Lower caliber because of the time, but still they're enjoyable to watch. Definitely.
If you please, let us know what you think. I know we're still trying to, we're still learning the process. We're trying to make sure we need to go where we need to be going. Feedback would be great because the more feedback we get, the more we'll be able to, put more out there and be better each and every time.
Yeah, just to improve our production,
We really
take notes.
So if you guys can do us a favor, if you did like the video, please like it. Also subscribe to our channel, favorite it. Also share it to other people to let them see, what we're throwing out there.
Yeah, the only way we can grow is through your support and your feedback. We don't know how to move on if we don't have any tips on to do so.
Like, favorite, subscribe, share it to other people, and I wish you all happy holidays, Encore fam.